Love, exciting and new.
Hello, Hannah Waddingham here. Have you seen the fabulous new Sun Princess? World-class entertainment, exceptional dining, and the greatest pizza ever.
It's a love.
Don't miss our Come Aboard sale with up to 40% off and free room upgrades. Visit princess.com or call your travel advisor to book. Princess Cruises. Terms and restrictions apply. Offer ends 2/28/25. Ships of Bermudan and British Registry.
This Steve Jones Show podcast is now loading. The Steve Jones Show podcast is presented by Sunbury Motor Company, Purdy Insurance, Brewers Outlet, and NIL Game Changers. Bringing you an in-depth look at Penn State sports and more. This is the Steve Jones Show on News Radio 1070 WKOK. The Steve Jones Show is presented by Brewers Outlet, Sunbury Motor Company, and Purdy Insurance. Now, from the Sunbury Motors Studio, here's Steve Jones.
Sunbury Motors, 4th Street in Sunbury. Sunbury Motors Kia, routes 11 and 15 in Nummels Wharf, and online at sunburymotors.com. For Kia Hyundai, best in new inventory. Great pre-owned inventory with the Sunbury Motors guarantee. Terrific service department, whether it's quick lane inspections, routine, difficult, they handle it all at Sunbury Motors, 4th Street in Sunbury. Sunbury Motors Kia, routes 11 and 15, Nummels Wharf, and online at sunburymotors.com. Bucknell has won 4 of its last 5 coming into this one, and they're looking for their 3rd consecutive win overall as they take on Colgate tonight. Joining us from beautiful downtown Hamilton, New York, is John Griffin, probably with a great sight of, who knows. John, welcome. No. Great to have you with us.
Yeah, thank you, Steve. Yeah, a great sight of snow. That's there.
Perfect. Oh, there you go. I feel much better now. I feel like we're in Central. I feel like you've taken us to Central New York and the heartbeat of what makes it work. All right.
No doubt. No doubt.
John, interesting that you're playing them this tight because it's only 15 days in between games against these guys. You won the first one 66-60. What did you like about that game? And then I'll get to what you'd like to tweak about that game. Let's start with like.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Colgate, if you follow the Patriot League, has been at the top of the league, have won the league 5 straight years. And, they've done it with really a particular offensive brand of basketball that relies on making 3-point shots. And so what we did really in the first game was limit those opportunities. And when they did get those opportunities, we made them we did our best to make them uncomfortable. And we did a decent enough job holding them to 60 points, and we didn't turn the ball over. So those are 2 things that if we can defend well, which has become a pillar for our success, and have a positive assist-to-turnover ratio, it gives us a chance to be successful.
Yeah, they were 6 of 22 from 3 the first time around, including 2 of 12 in the first half. So what would you like to tweak along the way? When you not major surgery, but something you'd like to tweak, make it a little bit better for you against these guys?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, for us, Steve, there is a world where you prepare for your opponent. In a situation like this where you're separated by 15 days or whatever, tweaking is more just kind of getting the group alerted to the strengths. For us, it comes down to not turning the ball over and rebounding. And if we can do a good job of limiting Colgate to 1 shot per possession, and then also on our side, when we have the ball, not giving them opportunities to get what I call undefendable shots, which typically happen when you live ball turnovers. I mean, look, the NFL playoffs are going on right now.
Yep.
And you can't tell me that turnovers are not the difference. And the same goes for basketball. So if we turn it over, we're going to really make it more challenging for us to put ourselves in position to win, and we have to do a really good job of having solid offensive possessions.
Because a turnover is an empty possession for you. A live ball turnover compounds the problem. Fair enough?
That's very true. It gives your opponent an opportunity to score without being challenged. And our goal defensively is to contest every shot taken. In order to give yourself a chance to contest every shot, you have to be back on defense for the most part. And if you have live ball turnovers, you're going to be in transition defense, and you're going to run the risk of not even being around the player that's going to score.
What kind of job has Josh Basco done for you in controlling tempo in games?
I mean, he's done a tremendous job. He's a guy that we've relied on very heavily. Last year and coming into this year in terms of minutes, and his first 2 years at Bucknell, he didn't have a large role. And then once I was hired, I kind of just threw him into a leadership role. And he continues to develop into a guy that is what I would call an everyday guy, just very reliable. You know what you're going to get out of him. But he's also growing in finding balance between being a scorer and a distributor. And for a lot of players, that can be a tough equation to figure out, and he's doing a nice job.
More than that, though, because he's averaging 38.5 minutes a game in conference games, and he only has, to your point, 8 personal fouls to this point. In other words, he's keeping himself out there. What kind of job has he done defending without fouling so that he is still a part of your game all the way through without a concern of foul trouble?
Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting combination right there, that stat combination, where I was taught at a young age in high school playing for Speedy Morris, fouls indicated effort levels. And so for this particular instance, I think what Josh is doing a great job of defensively on the ball is winning what we call like the first step battle. Yeah. And so if you can win the first step battle in a one-on-one situation, you put yourself in position to not foul, believe it or not. And then off the ball, you just have to be places early. Young players really struggle off the ball defensively because the game tends to move faster. At this point, due to the minutes that he's playing and the experience that he's gained in the last 2 years specifically, he more often than not is ahead of what's happening during the possession, which gives him a better chance of not picking up, careless fouls. So he's one of these unique players, and I'm sure you've seen them in your career where they take really great care of their body, nutrition, stretching, strength and conditioning. He's a very routine-driven college basketball player, which is allowing him to play 38 minutes successfully, but also giving me great confidence that he'll be able to sustain throughout a 40-minute game.
You're going to get 3 timeouts in the second half of a game anyway. Has there been any point in the conference games where you've tried to use a timeout, I don't know, near the under 8 or near the under 12 or whatever, to give him a couple of extra minutes to sit because you're going to get the media timeout? Has that ever entered your mind, John?
Yes, absolutely. Our games right now are just, for all those that are following, like really ridiculously close. 1, 2 possessions, yes. 2, 3, 4 points. We lost to American by 10, but it was we were up by 1 with 2 minutes to go, right, and down by 1 with 30 seconds. We just fouled a lot. So, there are some sequences where you can visibly see fatigue. And if I'm able to call a timeout sometime in the first 10 minutes of the second half prior to the opponent calling timeout, that would give us potentially 2 timeouts within a minute.
Yep.
Certainly aware of those opportunities, and I've done it a few times now at this point.
Yeah, you knew exactly where I was going with that. Because, I mean, he's valuable to what you do. But what about now Noah Williamson, what he's done? Elvin Edmonds, some other guys along the way that have made this a difficult guard, especially the fact that they're veterans, and you get into these close games where, except for American, they've all been by 6 points or less in the conference. I mean, what have the veterans meant to a mentality when you get to the 6-minute game, John? So let's get it to the 6-minute game.
It's the veteran element when it comes to these 1 or 2 possession games really becomes a strength because of experience. And experience is the best teacher, where you're really seeking the best possessions you can possibly get on offense and defense. And so youth can be trying to hit a home run versus a single.
Yeah,
and
right.
in these 4-minute games, as we call them, you have to have great at-bats. I'm a Phillies fan. When the Phillies are at their best, although recently they're swinging hard at the first pitch, when they're at their best, they have great at-bats. They have great at-bats. And that comes from experience. It comes from experience. So we're trying to put out, great at-bats each and every possession on both sides. Yeah. You can't have errors on defense. There are times where your opponent's going to make shots, make plays. You just want to make sure that it's difficult for them to do so. And then offensively, great purpose, great at-bats, great patience. And then when there's a fastball, swing. And I think we learned early in the Patriot League play, we had a huge lead at Lehigh in the last 10 minutes. We got a little tentative when Lehigh made a run. And for a veteran group, it almost seemed like every player on the floor was looking at each other to right the ship, make the next play. And at the end of the day, each individual has to be confident in themselves and confident that the group trusts what they bring to the table. It was a great learning point for us, a great teaching moment for me, even though I don't like to teach after a loss. I'd much rather prefer teaching after a win.
Exactly.
But it was a great opportunity for us to really hone in on how to win a possession basketball game. And look, we played a tough non-conference schedule. That taught us some of the important pillars in competing against some of the best talent in the country. Then the next step for us was now taking what I would say that winning accountability and being excited for that last 4 minutes of play versus being unsure of how to finish the game.
I'm sure as the coach, it doesn't bother you when you have the 20-point lead with 4 minutes to go.
Yeah.
Right. But, John, is there a part of you that loves coaching that last 4 minutes where decisions do make a difference? That's something you as a coach embrace, and why?
Yeah, I mean, I'm the son of a coach. I've been raised by a community of coaches. Yep. And what I've learned is you always want to be in position to win.
Yep.
So, of course, if it's a 4-minute game and you're winning, then you want to have a group that's confident that they know how to finish it. If you're losing, you don't want to be too deep in the hole that you can't recover. And so you always want to have you coach 36 minutes to be in position to win the last 4 minutes. And so, yeah, certainly. I mean, it's something that as a staff, we talk about special situations every day. I mean, there are so many different situations that we've seen at this point, starting in the first week of our schedule. And so at this point, I think our group has seen every potential situation. And you have to be prepared. You have to be confident. You have to be able to communicate real time. But ultimately, yes, as a coach, I always want to have this group in position to win. And that usually looks like 4 minutes left in the game, 2 or 3 possessions either way.
Feel good about at this stage you're really an 8-man rotation for the most part. 8-man. Do you like where the rotation is right now? I know Ian's out.
Yeah, I mean we're a little banged up. Elvin did not play. Elvin Edmonds, our starting point, did not play the last game. He's a kind of a game time decision tonight.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, we've had some injuries throughout the season, some major ones, and Ian Moda and Quinn Berger with torn ACLs, and these guys are incredibly important to just the overall makeup of our team. And then we've had some guys that have stepped in when their name was called. And so we have about an 8-man rotation, but I'm not afraid to get to 9 or 10. We have a group that works very hard day in and day out. I would say that I come from the Philadelphia blue-collar model of basketball. We practice hard, and we don't necessarily have days of load management style basketball. We practice hard, we get in and get out of there, and for that reason, I have confidence in all the guys.
Well, I know. I think Birdsong's in the room next to you, so just pound on the wall and wake him up because the game time's coming up. John, best of luck. You know the great confidence I have in the job you guys are doing, and this has been a terrific start. It's a big game tonight, and I wish you nothing but the best of luck.
Yeah, thank you, Steve. And go Birds. I don't get to call in WIP, so you're my WIP.
There you go.
Okay.
Go Birds. Hey, you got Barkley now. That's a pretty good ace in the hole, Barkley.
Yeah. Yeah. You know a thing or two about him.
Oh, yeah, I do. You're lucky. You're lucky you got him. It's great having that guy back there. Hey, John.
Hey, listen. I'm sure you've seen that touchdown run that he had in the last 5 minutes. I actually was at a game when they played Michigan, and he had a similar style run. He was gone.
Oh, that game. You know what they did in that play? If I remember the play right, it was on the opening sequence. They took the quarterback and they shifted him to a wildcat with McSorley to his right as the running back, direct snap, and made the same kind of run. Yeah.
Oh, he was gone. I mean, he hit the hole, and he was running so fast it looked like he was going to fall forward.
Nobody had more fun announcing his runs than me.
I can imagine. Well, nobody's having more fun than watching his touchdowns than us Eagles fans.
You got that right, because they are all home runs. So you talk about singles. It doesn't hurt once in a while to have a home run hitter.
No doubt. He's the MVP. Come on. Give him his nod.
I'm with you, John, all the way. Hey, good luck tonight. Good luck tonight. You're going to be great tonight. You bet. John gets to say go Birds. Hey, wake up Birdsong. He's in the next room. All right?